Hello, Vanessa Webb Stampin Up Demonstrator Australia here. Today we are going to be playing with some brand new products from the Sale-a-Bration catalogue and the brand new mini catalogue, January to April mini catalogue, which have just launched in the last week. And this is the first time I've actually been able to share the inside of the catalogue with you in a video. And this is our brand new catalogue. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, that's the cover. And on the inside is full of amazing products and samples, inspiration, ideas, accessories, new tools even, plus not to mention all of the new stamps that are in here. Just amazing. Every time I open it, I see something new. The stamp set that I'm going to be playing with today is called Planted Paradise, and it is this really cool set. When you look at it, you'll notice that some of the shapes are plain and some are actually patterned. That's because you can actually use both sides of these stamps. So you're really getting 40 stamps rather than 20. So you're getting twice as many stamps, which I think is fabulous bang for your buck. The stamp set is only $39 and there are so many things that you can do with it. And in COVID, I just wanted to share with you, I turned into a bit of a crazy plant lady. So this stamp set really caught my eye. I actually got it for free as a gift from Stampin' Up for taking part in the latest on stage at home. So we got this reversible stamp set as a free gift from Stampin' Up, which was lovely. And it doesn't have any dies to go with it. I just wanted to point that out, but the shapes are super easy to cut out, especially if you're only cutting out the pots, which is what I'll be doing. The plants you can stamp off and create a really thick foliage effect. And as I said, they're reversible, so you can use them in lots and lots of different ways. So I've been having a bit of fun with this stamp set. The Sale-a-Bration brochure looks like this on the cover, and I can show you on the inside what there is. I'm going to be doing a catalogue tour during my my online launch Sunday week. So if you want to see the catalogue in more detail, the Sale-a-Bration and the mini catalogues in more detail, you'll need to tune in then on my Facebook page, and we'll go through these in more detail. But the free item that I'm playing with today, in addition to the Planted Paradise stamp set, is the softly stippled 12x12 designer series paper, and you'll see it there. It's got some really pretty patterns. So one side is quite detailed and floral. The other side of this paper is a little bit plainer and it's a bit more of a background. So this one, you'll see that picture that's right at the back there. It's actually hard to see, but it sort of almost looks like a stucco dry brush look. It's got lots of texture. So we're using that as the background for our card today. So that's where I've got my paper from. And this one is free with a $90 purchase. There are lots and lots of other items in the Sale-a-Bration catalogue, which you can have a look at online. If you would like a copy of any one of these catalogues, let me know and I can send one to you in the post. Okay, so what we are going to start off with is we're going to stamp some of our items that we'll be cutting out. So I've got the large pot here, which is this image. I'm going to leave the images just there so you can see. And I'm going to stamp that in Pebbled Pass, which is one of our new in colours, I think. Yes, pretty sure it is. Yes, it's a new in colour. And with this stamp, you can either stamp it full strength, or if it's too strong, the colour, you can flip it over. I'm just going to show you what it looks like on the other side. You can flip it over and stamp it half strength. So you can see it turns out just as nicely on that side as it does on that side. We're going to use the full strength one. We're going to cut around it. So I've just stamped it right on the edge there. I've left a tiny little bit of white. You'll notice I'm using my glass mat. This is a glass mat that demonstrators were able to get before Sale-a-Bration started. And great news is that you can get one too. When you join Stampin' Up, either in January or February, you can add the glass mat and accessories at no extra cost to your starter kit. You'll still get $235 worth of product for $169. This glass mat is around about, I think it's $106 worth of product. So you'll get this little tray, which is a silicone tray, and it sort of stays put on the glass mat. The glass mat is wipeable, super easy to clean, with our brand new cloth, cleaning cloth, which comes with the mat as well. So if you happen to get ink on your mat, it is very easy to wipe off and keep ink free. You can also make notes on the side. Somebody has suggested, and I haven't tried this yet, but there's a margin down the side and you can make notes with just a whiteboard marker or even one of our Stampin' Write markers. Let me just have a go of that. I just want to write that. There you go, look at that. And that will just that would just rub straight off. So if you need to write measurements down, say you're watching a YouTube video with measurements, and or maybe you're wanting to become a demonstrator and do your videos on your glass mat, you can write down your page numbers and instructions there that you need to remember to tell people as you're showcasing your products on a video. So super handy. This is heat resistant and scratch resistant as well. So it's got so many features and benefits, and since I put it out on my workspace, I have used it non-stop. It has been brilliant. All right, for my next little pot that I'm going to be stamping, I'm going to use this little pot here. You'll notice that the pots are actually bigger in real life. I'm going to stamp this one off. So I'm going to stamp it once in Wild Wheat. So I'll use that one later. And then I'll stamp it again in Wild Wheat just next to it. So this one, these are so easy to cut out. I'm going to do this as I'm talking to you. And you'll find that, you know, once you've stamped them, you may either want to mask them if you're going to be stamping your leaves second, or you also can do what I'm doing here and cut them out and pop them up so that the leaves appear to be coming out of the pot. And that's definitely the technique that I'm going to use with these two pots. I'm going to do the lighter coloured pot here, and I'll use this one a little bit later on another card. I'm going to show you some other cards that I created using this set, just in some different colours, because it is super fun to change up the decor, change up the colour of the pots. And that almost looks like a lampshade, doesn't it? An upside down lampshade. There you go. Just noticed that then. All right, we'll turn it that way because that's the way we're going to use it. All right, so there's my pots ready to go. Now I also have some greeting, to share with you. So this is a brand new hybrid embossing folder, and you will find this inside the mini catalogue. So let me just find the back page where all of the embossing folders are listed, and I'll tell you what page you'll be able to find that on. So there it is. It's called Thoughtful Moments Hybrid Embossing Folder, and you'll notice that there are a number of different greetings. There's also some images. So there's rainbows, little leaves and hearts and stars. Very versatile. You can use this all year round. You'll find it on page 18. So let's go to page 18 and have a look inside there. Now you'll notice that the brayer, our brand new Stampin' brayer, is pictured next to it, and that's because you actually use the brayer to ink up the embossing folder before you cut out your words. And because they're embossed, they're raised a little bit, and it just looks so cool when you apply them to your project. They really have a lot of definition and they stand out brilliantly. You'll see some samples that have been created already, and see, there you go, there's the hybrid embossing folder. You can use it with the folder if you wish to. I might give that a go today. We'll see how that works. All right, I've used it separately before, so this will be interesting, an interesting little exercise. Okay, so what I've got is my hybrid embossing folder. I haven't really cleaned it since I used it, but that's okay. I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to use that here, like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to ink up the folder. So I have an old brayer here. I've actually just ordered my new brayer because I think it is better. The brayer that we used to have is rubber. I think the new brayer is made of silicone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think it will behave differently. I think it will actually give a more even coverage. So here we go. I'm just going to ink up the words, and you'll start to see the words come out a little bit more. If you're using this on your glass mat and you get some ink on the glass mat, don't panic. You just grab your cleaner, your cloth, and you can straight away wipe it off. It's super easy to do that. I'm just going to line this up so that these are, there we go. It sort of sits quite nicely there actually. And I'm going to use the Thinking of You, okay? So I'm just finding that one there, and I will pop my little piece of paper there, and then we're going to close this and we'll run it through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now this is a 3D embossing folder because it puts a nice deeply etched impression, and you get that lovely definition with the words. So we're going to use it with none of the white plates, none of the clear plates, and just the adapter plate for our 3D folders. So I'm just running that through. I could have put a whole piece of paper in there if I didn't want to waste that ink, but that's okay. Here we go. So now we have a perfectly cut greeting. And if I lift it up, you'll see the nice definition on there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see the 3D effect there? Very cool. It turns out super, super well. The other thing I'm going to do is cut just a plain one of these. So without stamping, I am going to cut a Thinking of You, a Thinking of You. Make sure that that's going to go. Is that the one? Yes, it is. The surround. So if you just cut this by itself without the embossing folder, what you'll need to do, you're just using the dies, you bring back your plate number 2 and you sandwich it as you would a normal thin die, and you just run that through. So that's going to become like the background for my greeting, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. You'll want to cut both of these if you want to define your greeting a little bit more. So this is how it's going to look. We're going to offset it just a little bit like this, and we're going to sit it on our project like that. So you can see the shaded spruce cardstock behind. So I'm going to set that aside. So that's all my cutting done for this card. All right, now we can do some stamping and putting together of our card. Now, have I used, I think I've used the incorrect piece of cardstock. Just bear with me. I'm just going to cut some more cardstock because I used the one that I was actually going to be using on my card. There we go. We've got another piece. We've got another piece of cardstock here, and I'm going to cover that over. Got inky fingers today. Alrighty. It's almost like doing a Facebook Live. I actually don't like editing my videos. I don't really have time to do it, so I tend to just fly by the seat of my pants like in real life. So you get to see my mistakes as well. Hopefully you'll learn from them, and hopefully I will too. All right, so here we go. We've got this piece here, which is going to spread across that designer series paper. That's the Sale-a-Bration softly stippled. And we're going to stamp on this bit before we pop it onto our card. So what we want to do is line up our two pots. I'm going to just kind of put them over to the left, and then we'll be able to work out exactly where our leaves need to be stamped. We're going to stamp the leaves flat down onto the white cardstock, the basic white cardstock. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. All right, so this is soft sea foam, and I'm using these two fronds which come from the Planted Paradise. They look a little bit like rhino horns, and I've got them both mounted on the same block, just kind of randomly randomly mounted like that. And then what I'm going to do is just stamp it a couple of times. Like that. So that you've got a little bit, oh, that was actually upside down. There you go. I told you the stamps are reversible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse them back, because you see one side's got texture and the other side doesn't, and it was actually hard to see that behind my block. So I'm going to go again. I'll just have to excuse the little smudges, but that's all right. We'll work that out. So here we go. Let's start again, and we're going to do 1, 2, and might do that one on the back. Just stamp it off just quickly, and then stamp it like that. So you've got a couple of different shades of the same color. And then we might do this one over here so that we can stamp our leaves over the smudges. So there's always ways to hide that. I told you this was warts and all. This is where you see how to fix your mistakes as well, because this is all about me and my mistakes. Here we go. So that's going to go about there. We're moving it slightly over. So that was Shaded Spruce and soft sea foam. So you've got these two lovely little plant pots with plants here. I'm pretty happy with that. And now we're going to go ahead and mount these two pots on with some dimensionals, because we want them to sit up a little bit. I'm going to put 4 on the back of the big one, and then just plonk it over where I have stamped those. So you get the idea. You're going to raise some of these images up because we've stamped them separately and cut them out. And then we've actually stamped the other parts directly onto the cardstock. There we go. So there's my two plants sitting there looking very cute. I'm going to go ahead and mount that straight onto my softly stippled. So you see the other side, isn't it gorgeous? You could watercolor that. You could use your blending brushes on that. It's a very pretty paper. And then before we stick this to our base card, I'm actually going to tie some ribbon around it. Now this ribbon is from the annual catalogue. It's the Real Red and Burlap ribbon combo pack. And I'm just going to tie some around because it's going to tie really nicely. Going to tie in the colour really nicely with our crumb cake cardstock base. It's almost like a crumb cake colour, I think. In fact, I think it is from memory. Okay, and I'm just going to cut that. Just tied it in a knot, not even a bow. And I'm going to swivel this around so that it is I can cut these off a little bit more now that I've tied it. There we go. So that's ready now to go on to our card. And then all we've got to do, pop some adhesive on the back here, and then all we've got to do is mount our greeting that we cut before. So that's ready to go, and that's going to stand out really well against this background here. So we've got Thinking of You, and I might grab some glue dots. There we go. So that's it. And then we're going to just stick this one with 2 dimensionals. Keep them down fairly low because the top of this is just going to overlap slightly, overlap the bottom of that little pot there. So I'm liking the layout of this card. It's looking pretty good. It's a little bit different to my original one, and I'll show you that in a second. So I've got some of these embellishments, and these are also from the mini catalogue. Let me find them. Are they from the mini catalogue, or are they from? No, they are from the Sale-a-Bration catalogue, I believe. They are free embellishments. So let me just find them here. There they are, opaque faceted gems. You'll see them on page 9, and they are also free with a $90 purchase. They are Calypso Coral, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. So the colours are going to tie in really nicely here. I'm going to use the Calypso Coral. So I'm going to grab one. And I might even grab another one to go over some of that smudgy stuff. There we go. And there is my card that I made for you. Let me bring in my previous card. You'll see a couple of differences. Let me point them out. Okay, so same ribbon, same colors are used, but I actually stamped off those leaves on my original card. You would have noticed. So that's an interesting change. The Thinking of You is also slightly different because I have mounted it that way instead of that way. So you've got some of the shaded spruce showing there on the left, and now it's on the right on my original card. But otherwise they're fairly similar. Let me show you some others. You may have seen this one on my blog, and this one's using one of the other greetings from the hybrid embossing folder as well. But it's using Berry Burst stamped off and some Pool Party ribbon and some of the pretty peacock ink for those large fronds of flowers that are coming out the top of this larger pot there. Again, I've used some softly stippled paper, and I've just realised that some of my Pool Party embellishments have come off. So I'm going to put some more of those on. There we go. So there's 3 now. And this one here, a little bit of bling. I've got the pretty peacock woven ribbon, which I think is from, pretty sure it's from our new catalogue. Yes, our mini catalogue on page 15. Yep. So that's the new ribbon. I've also, because it's got a gold fleck, I thought I would use the gold glimmer paper or glitter paper. And the one that looks a bit like a mirror ball from our annual catalogue. And that's the thank you stamp, so the thank you greeting from that hybrid embossing folder. That's what that looks like. And a little bit more of a terracotta shaped pot and colour, coloured pot, and some different leaves as well. I've used the Lost Lagoon ink for that, and I've stamped it off in the background. So 3 different looking cards done with the same technique. And using a Sale-a-Bration item, softly stippled, some Sale-a-Bration free embellishments, and our brand new our brand new Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder. So have a look out for that. It's on page 18 in the mini catalogue. You can order any of these products right now from my online store. So shop 24/7 at vanessawebb.stampinup.net, or you can phone me or email me. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these cards, and I hope it's given you some inspiration and tips and ideas to use in your own crafting. I'll see you next time. Bye.